The college basketball experience preview and picks episode for Monday, December 5th on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET is what you need to win. Sign up today. Bet $100. Get a $100 free bet at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET.
What's up, everybody? This is Cameron Crowe from Loyola Chicago Ramblers, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride. Shout out to the Broad Stop. Thank you, guys.
College basketball experience preview in picks episode for Monday, December 5th. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dad, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
Today was wild. Winning night by one game for me. Not a great night, I guess, but hey, a win is a win is a win. We had some bad breaks, though, and some of them were just the fact that college sports needs better. The more legalization that gambling happens, the more we should know about things that, like injury reports or certain stuff. We'll get to that in a second. I'm joined by my co-host. Give it up for former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin, host of the NFL Gambling Podcast, host of the Ryan and Rush Show. Give it up for Ryan McIntyre. How you doing, Ryan?
Yeah, no, I think I get the flu bug just with the Bryant guys right now, so battling it out. But I wasn't on the injury report like they were.
Oh man, was that a brutal lock or what? Find out the whole team is out. I already bet it. I'm like, oh, perfect. Let me just throw away some money. Let me just take it and just throw it down a fucking river. Shout out to the chat. I see it moving along. I see Kev Dallas 15. Asking about what soundboard I use. It's just an app, man. Hit me up, DM me on Twitter at the Colby D, and I will hit you with all the information. Got no problem spreading the love here. We don't have any secrets besides our winning picks. All right. Winning picks. How'd your night go overall, man?
No, I had a winning day. Radford came through once again, so we'll dive into it. But winning day to finish out week number 4 here on the college basketball slate.
Yeah, and it started out with a bang from our Cocaine Bears. Boom! Even though they didn't get the dub, thought they were going to get the dub. Well, I was actually sleeping while this went on, I'll be honest. Did not watch a second of this game. But Maine did cover. And shout out to the Cocaine Bears as they continue to be a success story on the college basketball experience. Did you watch any of this game?
Oh, yeah. No, it was a hell of a game, hell of a finish. I thought they were going to win the game outright. They missed a shot to end it, but, hey, you know what? 2-point line, so they do what the main Cocaine Bears do, and they cover for us, so we'll take the win there.
Yeah. Then Bryant, Cincinnati, obviously the news that, I thought it was 6 or 7 starters, or not starters, 6 or 7 players on the Bryant Bulldogs out with the flu. Pretty much had guys like me playing for them. They lose by 26. That's not our fault. It's not our fault on this one. All right. I will defend that. This is like if I don't know how many of you folks out there follow college football, but there was a Thursday night game. Utah has one of the better quarterbacks in college football. His name's Cameron Rising.
Yeah, he only kicked USC's ass on Friday night.
Yeah, exactly. You should be able to pull it up just from there. But there was a Thursday night game against Washington State where they did not tell anybody. There was no report. I mean, there was no report because you were playing him in DFS, and there was no status against him in DFS, and they stayed pretty on it. And just doesn't colleges, and I know that George Kliavkoff, the commissioner of the Pac-12, is actually proposing this, and I think it makes a lot of sense for the future of college athletics. The more gambling is becoming a factor and being, certain universities, I'm sure, will have tie-ins to casinos and shit like that. But he's working on fixing that because that's a huge thing. That's a huge thing. Because we ate shit. We should know. I feel like your bet should be voided if that happens. But
if 6 guys are out, yeah.
I mean, come on. First off, that line wouldn't have been like that. That line would have been at like 20. So anyway, Miami. Wow, I took Louisville plus the 11. I mean, I didn't bet it, but I mean, I figured one of these days they might make it competitive. So I think we're home. They're 0-8. We are at the pivotal point for Saturday's matchup now. They have carried, and look, it's in Tallahassee. They're going 0-9, by the way. Can we talk about this? They're going to go 0-10 because Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers, are the team after that. Oh, man. I mean, Kenny Payne, look, man, I remember Kenny Payne when he was on the 76ers. I got nothing against Kenny Payne. I actually feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for Louisville because I feel like certain times they might deserve some terrible things. But Kenny Payne, I wouldn't wish this upon anybody. I mean, this is coaching at his alma mater. I don't think he's an awful coach, but obviously 0-10 if that happens, which I think it will. Even right now, 0-8. That dude, get that guy a glass of whiskey. If I saw this guy out at a bar, I would buy him. If I was at the restaurant and he was there with his family, I would send him a whiskey because he needs it. Oh man, what do you make of the Louisville Cardinals?
They're atrocious. There's no other way to put it. I mean, they're 0-8. I don't. It doesn't get any better anytime soon either. Their point guard play is so bad. I watched this game throughout, and I'm like, this team has no chance at winning any game that's meaningful this year.
Well, yeah, and
I mean, they're bad.
Well, a lot of people complain that they didn't do enough in the portal, and especially when you're Louisville, you have access to NIL, you have a rich history, and they thought they were going to land these big recruits, and a couple of them did not work out. But I mean, I don't know, man. It's dark times. It's dark times over there in Louisville,
How
Kentucky.
many are they going to win?
Dude, I'm looking at the schedule right now.
3?
I mean, like I said, they should be very thankful that Florida A&M's on the schedule because I after that, I mean, honestly, where's the next, Boston College maybe? On January 25th?
That's a showcase.
You'd be fired by then. I mean, that's the question. You really think they would fire him after 1 year? That buyout's got to be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the buyout's crazy, but I mean, this is Louisville. This isn't a bad program. I mean, this is one of the more prestigious programs, especially in the ACC.
Man.
I mean,
I'm saying, even back in the day when they had Purvis Ellis and shit, man. I mean, this is a team. Go back in rich basketball history. I mean, I see a Georgia Tech matchup on February 1st. They also host Florida State on February 4th. There's a 2-game stretch they could potentially
sneak
have
out
there.
a
I mean, I honestly, if we're setting the over under on wins, where I would ask the chat this, where would you put the over under on Louisville's win total right now for the season? 4,
3.5,
3.5, something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty terrible. I mean, you got to start. I would hate to think that they would fire him in 1 year coming out of some scandal, but at the same time, I think they're not a patient fan base.
No.
This isn't him at I feel like Kansas State would be like, okay, yeah, give him an extra year. You know, like I feel like somehow Jeff Capel does this all the time, and he gets extended. I feel like, man, I don't know. It's dark times. People in the chat are saying 3.5.
Yeah.
3.5 is that number. And by the way, Florida
Thank
State,
God.
though, you saw the news of Cameron Fletcher missing the entire season with the right knee injury?
Yeah, no, brutal. Thank God they don't play Iona.
Oh,
I was thinking about that. I mean, imagine if they had played, Patina would be licking his chops.
Yeah, I mean, it's really bad, man. It's really bad. Patina won by 30 today, by the way. We were on the wrong side of that.
Yeah.
That's the Gales I was expecting early in the year when we ate shit taking them. So, and how about Youngstown State, the Penguins? All right, doing it.
Big win.
I mean, that was a nice little beatdown by 11. We were I was on the wrong side of that. I did hit on Lafayette against Cornell. Cornell wins, but hey, and I feel like potential game ball spot just because they're 7-1. They're 7-1.
They continue to roll.
What is happening? I did watch Kentucky, Michigan. Did you?
Yeah, no, great game. Michigan was right there at the end. Kentucky went on a nice run in the second half. It was a good matchup between Sheboy and Dickinson. Kentucky, I thought was fortunate to get out of this with the win.
I saw Pat Forty tweet about the fact that who scheduled this game in London between two heavyweights in the middle of the World Cup and NFL Sunday. And then I did see that I think Norlander said that this is a makeup COVID game, so they kind of like had to get this thing done contractually. But yeah, either way, I thought it was a good point though. Good point.
Yeah, there was nobody there.
Well, it's fucking London.
I know.
They're gonna be up. I know that this was supposed to happen 2 years ago. So I guess to make sure you honor the contract, it has to get done at some point. I just would have probably tried for next year as opposed to this year. But
yeah.
Anyway, Kentucky's first marquee win, I would say, this season, right?
Yeah, I would say so, especially on a true neutral court, considering it was not even in America. But yeah, I'm interested to see how these teams respond to coming back from London, because we're not used to seeing these teams go out of the country. I mean, I know they go to Atlantis and Maui, and that's that's a little bit of a travel spot, but London's a far way away, so we'll see how they bounce back Michigan and Kentucky and the Maine Cocaine Bears too.
Yeah, but hey, we cashed in on Maine.
Yeah,
we might have lost on Bryant, but we cashed in on the Wolverines, baby. Let's go. South Alabama covered against UAB. I laid the points. I think you took South Bama. You covered there.
The Jags.
Shout out to that. I did eat shit on Stetson too. I think we both ate shit on Stetson. Florida's a hard team to really pin down. I don't understand. Some days they look good. Some days they look like shit.
They're up and
down. Yeah. Brown took care of Hartford. We were on the right side of that. Belmont loses by 10. Remember, we thought about betting this. Thankfully, we did not. As Illinois State wins by 10 at home against Belmont. Welcome to the MVC. It's a little different than the OVC, Belmont. It's a little different. George Washington gets housed in Radford against the Highlanders. You were all over that. You locked that one up.
It's my team.
Yeah. Shout out to that dub, the Highlanders there. See the chat saying, Colby, are you able to try and get the guy on a Buffalo on the show sometime? Who are we talking about? Talking about Deion Sanders? There we go. Who coached the Colorado Buffaloes? Let's go.
Prime time.
All right. This is the smelly line last night that we should have ignored. Georgia State goes to Boston and loses by 20 to Northeastern. What the fuck was that? The line didn't make sense.
See that coming. Yeah.
The line didn't make sense. It was a 2-point line. We're like, why? Should be like 6, 7. No, they lose by 20 in Boston. I didn't hear any reports that the whole team was sick, but damn. Mike the Ike. How? That was our Northeastern insider right there.
I know he's been favored all year. Finally, Northeastern woke up. Maybe they're turning the corner headed into CAA play.
Yeah. Monmouth took down Manhattan. Once again, I'm very glad we did not bet this, but we were considering this. Monmouth gets their first win in I feel like a fucking year.
Literally.
Sanford UCF was fantastic. UCF wins by 3 in overtime. We cover on that. And then Vermont, I knew there was my boys, the Catamounts, by 23 against Merrimack. Vermont's back, baby. I also took I did add a bet on Murray State minus the points against Valpo. Oh! Hopefully you follow the picks page. I don't think I gave that one away on air last night. That's why you get the SGPN app. You'll get access to all of our picks, all of our content, all of our podcasts. Free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store. Okay. We got to talk about Eastern Michigan again. They lose by 28 at home.
I hate this team.
Yeah. They are Milwaukee, Patrick Baldwin. That's what they are.
Yeah.
But we're not taking them anymore. That was the final
straw.
No
Moss. No Moss.
That was the final straw. Rice beats Texas State by 12. I as a guy that was high on Texas State last year and coming into this year, we took Texas State yesterday, but we didn't bet it. And I was a little reluctant to because I said they looked like shit the last time I saw them play. The Rice Owls win by 12 in San Marcos. Shout out to them. We were on the right side of Iowa State, -5. Boom. You don't just come into Ames, Iowa, the cornfields with all the decapitated blowjobs there.
Hilton Magic, baby.
Yeah. The Buffs, man, the Buffs. Look, all this Deion Sanders news, they must have been partying. They went to Seattle, and they lose by 10. Luckily, we didn't bet that, but they lose by 10. Nice win for Washington, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, much needed road win, and Colorado was hard to figure out, man.
It's going to be all year. I'm telling you. They're too young. They are very talented. There's like 2 or 3 guys that I actually think will be playing pro ball. Like, I think KJ Simpson's got a decent shot at the NBA. I think De Silva will be playing professionally somewhere. And they got a couple other guys that are young that I think it can end up potentially playing pro basketball somewhere. Colorado is a lot better at home. Ryan's right there.
And Rob Donaldson, is Washington legit? I don't fucking know. They're another team. I don't think they're legit, but they're like Colorado. They're so up and down. There's a bunch of teams in the Pac-12 that it's like every other game. I guess Arizona State's rolling right now, but I mean they could fall on their face any moment as well.
Yeah, and my guy Chad Graham in the chat goes, Moneyline Mac, you need to have the voice of reason with Colby's love for locking up bad teams. But hey, what about okay, you guys? I would argue that you need to double down on me. I need to trust my feelings more. My point exactly is Chicago State.
Chicago State, baby.
They won by 17 against Southern Indiana, and I wanted to ride them, but we thought, hey, maybe we don't. I wanted to ride Chicago State, and you guys talked me off the cliff here.
Yeah, we didn't because we were loyal to Southern Indiana. They had been good to us, so we're like, we can't go against our guys. But we both did take Chicago State on the picks page.
Yeah, and how about the Virginia Tech Hokies? Great win. That place was rocking. I don't know if you guys saw us tweet out the some of that footage from that game at TCE on SGPN. I almost went to this game. We might need to just do a solo "What is Wrong with North Carolina" podcast in the next couple weeks here. I mean, they came into the season preseason number 1. They're sitting here at 5-4.
Yeah.
Now they do have Georgia Tech and Citadel on deck, so I imagine they'll be 7-4. But then after that, listen to this stretch to end the season: at Ohio State, a game in Charlotte against Michigan, and then at Pitt, who suddenly looks like they found something. I guess a little bit of something. Can they? I mean, do you think they can beat Ohio State, Michigan, and Pitt? Any of those? What do you think their record will be there?
I think they will wake up eventually, but as of right now, they're not an NCAA tournament team. In terms of their resume, I mean, I'm looking at their wins so far. Yeah, the Charleston win's impressive in Gardner-Webb and JMU, but like for North Carolina, that's your resume. I mean, they have not looked good so far. I mean, other than their name is North Carolina, they've been a bad basketball team so far. Offensively, they're struggling with their identity. They take fucked up shots, and Baycott's banged up right now. He didn't play today, so I think they're relying on kind of what they did last year, turning it on, but that's dangerous.
Yeah, it really is. But no,
yeah,
I thought I don't know if this was you or my brother NC Nick on the preseason shows that he said like they kind of have what UCLA. So 2 years ago when UCLA had that great run. Lost by that crazy Suggs 3 in the Final Four. Everyone thought, man, UCLA is going to win it all next year. And that's kind of what I think everyone felt this past year when you saw Baycott come back, when you saw Love come back, when you saw them land Pete Nance. You said, damn, this team is going to be loaded. But, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I was shocked all throughout the day, though, because Quinnipiac lost to Niagara. Quinnipiac looked really good so far this year. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. I mean, that was a bit shocked. They were 7-1 coming into that game, and they lose to fucking Niagara, who's 3-4. Hey, this is why the sport is fantastic. We were all over Southeast Missouri State catching 21 points. They almost won the game. Missouri wins by 7. Let's go. Now, I think the chat was referring to my shitty pick of Texas A&M Commerce, and fair. I was looking for more action, and I took a shot on a team that's brand new to D1 basketball, and they went into Denver, Colorado, to take on perhaps the best team no one's talking about in America in the Denver Pioneers.
Team.
Yeah, no one besides Noah Beanick. Noah Beanick, see, here on the College Basketball Experience, what you don't understand is Noah Beanick works behind the scenes relentlessly, all right? And look, Kansas football, I was all over them over 2.5 wins. I called for them to make a bowl. I was laughed off some fucking shows, right? Had a K-State ticket to win the Big 12. Boom. I like to think we stay ahead of the curve. Sometimes it's not me. Sometimes it's Moneyline Max. Sometimes it's Patty C. Sometimes it's NC Nick. Well, in this case, it's Noah Beanick, who is just all over the Denver Pioneers. I think we might even we're in talks to potentially get him to announce the starting 5 at the stadium at good old what the hell what is that, Magnus Arena? Let's go, Noah. Let's do this.
Hey, they need something because the Broncos suck. So the Pioneers are the talk of the town in Denver right now.
I would say Deion Sanders, but yes, the Pioneers are. They're right there.
Yeah.
Utah, Washington State. This game was fun, but once again, we thought the line smelled. Turns out we were wrong here. Utah was the better team. They win by 2 in overtime. We were laying 3.
This is a tough loss for us,
dude. For some reason, I'm watching this game live. It's my day off today, so I'm kind of just like hanging out with the wife. I didn't have the laptop open with my book. I thought I got +3. I had -3. And so when they lose by 2, I'm thinking, fuck yeah. Check my account. Oh, lost money. All right. Day's not as good as I thought it was going to be.
I will say, I thought we were on the right side of that one because they did lead by, it was 6-7 points coming down the stretch, and they kind of a horrible foul with 8 seconds left in the game. They're up 3. Utah.
I watched this. Do you actually think that was a foul?
No, but like I don't know why you're even near him.
That's true.
And if you're gonna foul him,
folks. If you weren't watching this, there was like a foul, like I don't know, 60 feet away from the basket, probably. Tie game, 10 seconds left or something. Was it tied? It was tied, right? I remember this, but I I thought that kind of should have let that play on personally, but yeah, you make a good point. Why the fuck are you still up all the way on them like that?
Yeah.
Shout out to Utah though. Craig Smith 7-2, man. 7-2. Avoid the letdown spot in Pullman, which is always tough to go into. And then how about this Southern Miss Northwestern State game? Northwestern State hits a game winner at the buzzer. DeMarcus Sharp had 32 points for Northwestern State. I kind of hope we see Northwestern State in the NCAA tournament. They're 7-2 now.
They're good.
They might be live dog potential. I've been really impressed with them, man. I've been really impressed with Northwestern State this year.
They won in Fort Worth.
Yeah, and that Southern Miss team was undefeated. They just won. Yeah, in Fort Worth. I thought it was for a second. I thought it was Brett Favre's volleyball court, but no, they won in Fort Worth. Shout out to them. I mean, I'm loving it. Nebraska beats Creighton by 10. I took Nebraska. I know you took Creighton, but we didn't.
Man,
this is some in-state. This is what I mean. This is what's great. Let's start the rivalry. Let's get it going, Mayor. Come on, Fred.
Shout out to Fred Hoiberg. That was great. I mean, he needed that win.
Yeah, I mean that's
3 in a row for
that's
Creighton.
a landmark win.
Yeah,
that's a fucking landmark win.
You know, he'll get a contract extension off that win.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
That's huge.
They're quietly rolling now, Colby.
I know. And I'll be honest. Go back to that St. John's game when I turned it off. They were up like double digits at half against St. John's, and I was like, they were putting a clinic on St. John's. St. John's stormed back in the second half. You look at that box score and you say, oh, St. John's won by 20. No, Nebraska was way better in the first half.
Yeah, they're up 10 and a half, and they lost by 20.
Yeah, they were rolling. Now they've won 3 in a row against Power 5. Now, granted, it's Florida State, Boston College, but the Creighton one, that's legit. They got at Indiana and home to Purdue on deck. Then a K-State game. So we're going to learn a lot about Fred Hoiberg, a.k.a. the mayor, very soon. Oregon plus 10. This game was actually closer than the final score indicates, but plus 10 did hit for us. I almost bet this. UCLA wins by 9. Did you watch this?
This is a good game. Yeah, no, this is a good game. Like you said, the score was not reflective of how close the game was. Oregon was there the entire way.
Yeah. Cal
UCLA, I haven't been impressed with either.
Me neither, man. Something's off.
Yeah,
something's off.
All the blue bloods for the most part.
Yeah, Duke doesn't look all the way there, which we kind of expected with their youth. Carolina
the best one.
Yeah. I mean, Michigan State was impressing me, but then injuries played a role.
Yeah.
Is Indiana count as a blue blood? Because I'd say they look pretty good, but obviously not at Rutgers.
No, the Rack.
The Rack.
I mean, Kansas is probably the best one, but
yeah.
Outside of Kansas, like Carolina's looked awful, UCLA's looked awful, and
even
I mean,
Baylor got their moment.
Yeah, Villanova's looked awful. In Kentucky, I mean, they won today, but they still don't look like Kentucky right now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, could this be a year where we just see someone out of the blue take down the whole fucking thing? I mean, we almost saw it with Butler. Remember that shot off the backboard? Could it be? Yeah. You know, it's been a while since a random team. I know. Seems like it's been a while since a random team won. I guess you could say maybe, but Baylor was really good that regular season, so I don't know. Cal covered against Arizona, and look, I know we were thinking about our shitty game tournament between shitty teams. I think Cal's better than Louisville. I was watching that game today. I was like, Cal would beat Louisville.
Yeah, no doubt. Cal's actually been covering, so I actually was surprised that they kept it close today because I thought Arizona coming off the loss would just drill them, but Cal was right there the whole way.
Yeah, Mark Fox probably still should be fired, but I mean, yeah, they got more guys to me. They just look better from an athletic standpoint to me.
They are still 0-9.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, they suck. Don't get me wrong. I just think now, who would you take? Cal, Florida State? We take Florida State, right?
Probably. Yeah, they Cal sucks, but like the bar is so low with Louisville right now that it's like, yeah, man, Cal's got some potential.
Yeah. Who else was in our shit tournament? Long Island.
Georgetown, South Carolina.
That's the one I ask you now. Cal, Georgetown. Who you take if they play tomorrow? Neutral site in Kansas City. Cal, Georgetown. Who you taking?
Probably Georgetown, but I don't know. Georgetown, I actually was impressed with Georgetown at Texas Tech. And then yesterday I'm watching them versus South Carolina. I'm like, oh, all right, finally Georgetown's getting better. And then they blow a 15-point lead. So I don't know.
They're on Cal's level, dude. I think that is a game because I did the UMBC and American games back to back, and I was like, this team sucks. I was like,
yeah.
And I don't understand it. They have talent. They actually probably, from a roster standpoint, in my opinion, Georgetown's like they're ahead of Cal. They're ahead of Louisville. They're ahead of Boston College.
They're just badly coached.
Yeah, they're just right below Florida State. Florida State, I don't even understand it because Leonard Hamilton's historically been a great coach, done great things in Tallahassee. I don't know if he just got old, the portal started happening, and like, I don't know what the fuck the problem is, but something's off. Something's off there. Minnesota got housed by Purdue by 19. It's on the wrong side of that. Tennessee housed Alcorn State. Whew, how about Tennessee winning by 54? Relax.
Yeah.
Rick Barnes.
Save
that for the tournament. What's that?
I was saying, I think I said last time, I'm like, I don't want to take Tennessee with that big a number, but they do have a tendency under Rick Barnes to just absolutely annihilate teams in November.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah, they shoot their load, as they say.
You know what we should have bet was Florida Gulf Coast.
Yes.
We liked it, but we just thought the little brother angle right there at the airport as FGC wins. Stanford, Arizona State. I saw someone tweet out. Someone had Arizona State minus 4.5, and they lost in heartbreaking fashion.
Brutal.
But Arizona State gets the win. Bobby Hurley. Hey, is this the year for Arizona State? Like we just mentioned how we thought UCLA doesn't look the part. We know USC's in a little bit of a rebuild. I still think USC could make the tournament, but Arizona State might be able to conquer everyone but Arizona.
Yeah, no, I mean, as long as they don't play the SWAC, they're in good hands because their only losses to Texas Southern. Arizona State doesn't lack talent. That's for damn sure. I mean, the Cambridge brothers, Frankie Collins, Marcus Bagley.
And then the whole Bagley situation, I don't even know what's happening.
Yeah, no, it's kind of like Arizona State every year. You just don't know what you're going to get. I mean, like, for example, this isn't basketball related, but in football, Washington's only loss was Arizona State. Arizona State's always talented enough, but it's just like,
I've been saying this forever on the college football experience.
They're so up and down.
Yeah, they're like, to me, like Pitt and Arizona State. If you could did an all-time team, they would be incredible. Like if you did a Madden, if you had like a video game and just did like all, your whole roster full of their all-time team, it'd be very hard to beat some of those teams. I think you could put it you could put like Florida. You would think is like way better, and you'd be like, no, I don't know, position by position. I think you can make a case.
I mean, they're not Arizona talented, but they're freaking talented.
Yeah, I know they always have been, even like the shitty years. Like the chat says, that watch Arizona State lose to the next 5. Probably right.
Could happen. Yeah, it could happen. If you say that they're going to win their next 10, I wouldn't be surprised if you say, hey, they're going to lose 8 out of 10. Or they're going to win 10 in a row and then lose 9 out of 10. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'd be surprised if they won 10 in a row just because Bobby Hurley's always struggled to be consistent. You know what I mean? Like his teams can beat the number 1 team in the nation and then lose to Fort Valley State the next night. Shout out to you for the Beavers play. Only lose by 1.
They're right there.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, Oregon State had an 11-point halftime lead. They lose by 1. It's kind of a brutal loss, actually, if you're a Beaver fan. Shout out to Dryden. I know he's probably hurting on that one. But either way, you got the cover there. And then we were all over Northwestern beating Michigan State. We cashed there. And then I think the shocker for me, one of the shockers of the night, is how well Ryan Odom has Utah State playing. Like, I thought they're a good team. I didn't think they would by 20 at San Francisco.
I almost
catch
locked
the
up
score?
San Fran. Yeah, I
Me
almost locked
too,
up
me
San
too.
Fran last night, and I was like, you know what though, Utah State's been pretty damn good. So glad that we stayed away from that. No, I've been extremely impressed by Utah State so far. Early non-conference, 7-0.
I know.
Odom's got them rolling.
I know people talk shit about the Mountain West last year in the NCAA tournament, and rightfully so. They went winless, but I also thought the committee did them no favors with their matchups. You look at what we have right now. San Diego State, probably the favorite still from the preseason. But then you factor in we've been talking about how high we are on New Mexico. You factor in Utah State. You factor in UNLV, who I think is completely flying under the radar. Nevada's doing better than what I thought they would be. Colorado State, even though they just lost to Northern Colorado, they're getting healthy. When Wyoming gets EK and Maldonado back, it's a good conference, man. It's a really good conference.
I'm looking forward to watching this Mountain West throughout January and February. And, I mean, the teams in the bottom half, San Jose State and Air Force, aren't awful either.
Oh, I liked Tim Miles' squad, man. I think San Jose State's – I think they're going to be a tough out night in, night out for everyone else. Game balls for today. I'll start right there with the Utah State Aggies. I think, Ryan Odom, great story at UMBC, getting them the only 16 to ever beat a 1. But I actually thought the hire was strange because I know his dad had a footprint, throughout the Northeast. And I thought, man, I don't know about this guy coming out to Logan, Utah. He's got no history. His family's got no history, west of the Mississippi, really. And you're sitting there like, I don't know. But at the end of the day, if you can coach basketball, you can coach basketball. And you're seeing that impact that he's had right there. And I got to give him game ball. I did not think they would be undefeated, and I did not think they would beat San Francisco by 18 points. Shout out to them. Game ball, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go down to Radford, Virginia. They put it on George Washington today. They were the better team. They were favored, and they were favored for a reason. They were better than George Washington throughout. And shout out to Darius Nichols and the Radford Highlanders. They're going to be right there in the Big South, I think.
Yeah. I mean, no, I would actually kind of say, maybe favorites. I don't know.
Them in Nashville.
Yeah.
Fantastic race, I think.
I got to go Fred Hoiberg, game ball.
Yep, stole right from me. Yeah.
Even if you never make the tournament, I think Nebraska, they've only made the tournament once in like fucking 30 years, I feel like, or 40 years. In like 94, I feel like, with Eric Piatowski or something. That's a huge win, man. That's like honestly, like, he was on the hot seat. This is one where even if you don't make the tournament, if you can go into Trev Alberts with them being a football school, caring much more about football than basketball, and say, hey, look, we're building it. Look what we did to Crown. Maybe that'll be good for him.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nebraska. Who's your next game ball?
I'm going to go to Northwestern. Big win in East Lansing. Collins in that group needed a bounce back win. They got drilled by Pitt earlier in the week. So to go to East Lansing, and I mean, that place was jumping tonight, even for an early conference matchup. So I'll go to Northwestern for a second game ball here. Yeah,
well, check us out. I'll match you my third game ball. I'm going to just add the state to it. Northwestern State beating undefeated Southern Miss.
Yeah.
What a win. We touched on this, and we think this team could really be a thorn in the side of a NCAA tournament team if they can get in the thing this year. Final game ball. Where are you going?
This one's for Kramer. I'm going to shout out the Hokies, Mike Young in that group. They put it on the North Carolina Tar Heels. I think that I don't think they're going to win the ACC, but I think they're going to be right there in the top 4 or 5 teams there throughout.
I agree. Like,
yeah,
it wouldn't shock me if they finish ahead of Carolina or Duke now, but I think UVA is the best team in the ACC.
It could be Virginia and Virginia Tech.
It really could be. It really could be.
Which would be fantastic.
Yeah. So, yeah, those are the game balls. Let's get to tomorrow's action. It's not the greatest slate of games, but let's get there. And, yeah. We got a wild Monday because slate Slate isn't on fire, but there is a daytime college basketball. The only problem for me is I'll be on a fucking airplane going cross country. IUPUI taking on Green Bay. I'll say this, though. On nights like tonight, you got to take a few chances besides like the games you feel good about.
Yeah.
You just got to take a few chances. And I'm going to start out with a chance. I'm laying the 6.5 with Green Bay. I think the Phoenix don't have many opportunities for for wins. And I think they see IUPUI coming to town. The Phoenix will rise in Green Bay. You know they're 0-7, right? 0-7 against 1-7.
And IUPUI is 1-7.
Last time they played, which was last February, Green Bay won by 26. Let's go. Green Bay can do this. They can do this. What are you doing here?
Shout out to the chat. Everybody say take the under.
125.
I'm going to go IUP. What's that?
125 is that number if you do want to take the under.
Yeah, I can see a 55-50 game. I'm going to go IUPUI here. I guess by hey, let's have a lock off here because it's a standalone game. So give me the Jaguars.
Oh.
Let's go.
I'll be on an airplane. I'm going to be asking the stewardess, sweetheart, can you get the IUPUI game on for us? Yeah. We don't need to see this movie. Where? Let's go. IUPUI in one corner. Green Bay Phoenix in the other corner. Who will eat the shit sandwich?
Yeah, you're going to be on the airplane and be like, hey, can I get the Green Bay game on? She'd be like, sir, the Packers played yesterday.
I go, no, the Phoenix. No, Phoenix, they played yesterday too. Yeah. Next up, Kennesaw State. The Owls, who have been, hey, Kennesaw. They've been all right. This year. Sitting there 5-3, coming off a win against Mercer on the road. They're laying flat 4, I'm seeing, against the Buccaneers of Charleston Southern. Look, I took a shot on Charleston Southern the other night. I ate a big steaming pile of shit. I am bouncing back to the Owls of Kennesaw. I'm laying the 4 with the Owls. What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, Charleston Southern's come back to the pack a little bit here recently. I'm going to lay Kennesaw State. And like you said, it's a shorter slate, so I'm going to lock them up.
Oh, there we go.
Let's go.
There we go.
Team speed, for Christ's sake.
Moneyline Mac locking up. Owls of Kennesaw State representing the Atlantic Sun as they take on the Big South.
The chat's on fire tonight, by the way.
On a night like tonight, you cannot blame any of these picks. Picks. Let's go. Yeah, chat's rolling. Talking about the Mile High Club. There we go. Yeah. I'll get it in the Mile High Club by the IUPUI Milwaukee game being not Milwaukee, IUPUI Green Bay game being on fucking TV. I don't even know how I'll pull that up. It's like, do you get ESPN Plus on this? I don't know. Maybe I can use that Wi-Fi, get that going.
You'll have a better chance finding that than the Pac-12 network.
Very true. Very true. Very true. The Albany Great Danes are heading to Amherst to take on UMass. Your boy, Frank Martin's treated us well this year, but damn, they're laying 15.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Marcus Camby, and who are those guards again? Edgar Padilla. Those guys they ain't walking through that door. 15 points, man. I know Albany sucks, though. I'm taking the 15 with the Great Danes, though. What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I think this line is way too high. I'm going to take Albany. I think UMass wins, but this is a lot of points.
Yeah, it's just a little too much. Lou Rowe.
Yeah.
Anyone out there remember Lou Rowe? That was a beast for UMass back in the day. Speaking of UMass, I'm curious when UMass will play UMass Lowell. I think they play each other this year because the Riverhawks are playing good ball. They're laying 13.5 against Rod Strickland and Long Island. I'm laying the points, but I don't love it. What are you doing?
Same. I tried to lock it up against LIU the other night with Towson, but LIU was feisty, but I still don't think they're a good team. I'm going to lay the points, but I'm not locking this up.
Yeah. I think Lowell will cover, but I just can't lay that many points. Game of the night by far to me. Kent State taking on Gonzaga. Kent State has been fucking fun to watch this year, man. I have been completely impressed with the Golden Flashes. Obviously Sincere Carey, but not all him. Malik Jacobs, baller as well. And what is the other kid? Santiago. He can gun. They're getting 16. I'm seeing right now. 16 at Gonzaga. Oh man. They went toe-to-toe with Houston, man.
Yeah. The only issue is like one of these nights Gonzaga is going to wake up.
You know what? I don't have many locks. Let's go. Golden Flash is plus 16. Let's go. What are you doing here?
I'll join you. Let's take the Golden Flashes. Let's go.
Let's go. It is a tough spot though, because the Zags are coming off of a loss. Tricky, a little tricky, but I think they can cover the big number. Speaking of big numbers, North Dakota State is taking on the Portland Pilots. North Dakota State's catching 15.5. This is a gigantic number I know they're not as good as a couple of years ago. In fact, North Dakota State's 1-8, but it's a big number, man. Big fucking number. Give me the Bison and the points. What are you doing here?
Yeah, no, I'll lean to the points here, but I'm no lock here.
Yeah. And final game of the night. I mean, there are other matchups out there, folks. They just don't have lines. Concordia is taking on Western Michigan. Our Lady of the Lake is taking on Lamar. Watch out for Our Lady. Trevecca is taking on Lipscomb. I don't even know how to. What is this? Ecclesia is taking on McNeese. Yeah. Simon Fraser. Simon Fraser is taking on. I do know Simon Fraser actually because I've been to Western Canada, and that's a school up there. I think is it BC, somewhere up there.
Simon says,
yeah. Simon says, don't watch that fucking game. Final game of the night: Troy at San Diego State. This is actually I think the second best game of the slate.
Yeah, and
I'm taking the 15.5. Lock it up. Let's go. San Diego State wins by 12. I mean, Troy's 6-3. They did just lose to SIU, man. I don't feel. Look, I'll be honest. Night like tonight, you're reaching for a couple of these locks. I honestly like. I like the Kent. I feel like I'm even reaching a little bit on the Kent State one, but I kind of like it. Every other one I've said is a reach to me, and I feel like you know what, man. I need more action. So I am going to bet Kennesaw State with you. So lock that up as well. What are you doing on Troy San Diego State?
I'll join you on the Trojans. I've been impressed with them so far. I know they just came off the loss to Edwardsville, but they were right there with Arkansas throughout.
Yeah, but I know. Yeah. I think they can hang. I think they can hang with. Let's go. I think that's probably. Yep. If I had to power rank these locks, which obviously I'll lock up right now, I'll tell you the locks, but I'll go in order of what I think. I am locking up Troy plus 15.5 at San Diego State. Lock one. That's the one I feel best about. Second would be Kent State plus 16 at Gonzaga. Third for me would be Kennesaw -4 against Charleston Southern. Fourth for me, Green Bay -6.5. And get the SGPN app because I might even take North Dakota State just looking for some action. Time for some action, as Be Real once said. What do you do? What are your locks? Let's go.
I'll give you 4 right here. Short slate here, so I'll lead it off in the standalone game. Give me Jaguars plus 6.5. Sprinkle some on the money line against the Phoenix of Green Bay. I'm going to take Kennesaw minus a 4. I'm going to take Kent State plus 16 in the big number to cover at Gonzaga since you're carrying that group. And then I'm going to ride Troy plus 15.5 at San Diego State. I think they can keep this to be a ball game here out west.
Yeah. People are asking who's Noah like. Are you referring to the Simon Fraser game? Noah, hit us with your locks if you get this in time, because we don't have much else to talk about besides how great the Tuesday slate is. We could talk about that for a second. Tuesday slate's fire.
Yes, it is.
And if all goes well, you will see an episode tomorrow with me, Moneyline Mac here, and then NC Nick and Patty C will make their season debut. They've been on it for years past, and if all goes well, I am flying into North Carolina, where there was apparently like perhaps a terrorist attack to a certain extent. I don't know. I read that and I thought, you know what? I think this is the media trying to say it was a terrorist attack. It's probably some dude who got fucking fired down in North Carolina and just took a gun to their what do we call that? Their grid, their power grid, essentially.
Power line, Sid.
Yeah. And just
join the misery.
This isn't fucking Nakatomi Tower here in Die Hard. All right. I think it's just some guy. It's either that or he was like dating a girl that worked there. She treated him like shit or something. Found out she was cheating. He's like, you know what, bitch? I'll take out your whole grid. Yeah. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, North Carolina. Let me just read you the headline on CNN. North Carolina County announces curfew as nearly 40,000 customers remain without power after 2 substations. There we go. Damaged by gunfire. Yes, and there's a nice little photo. A guy drove through a fucking. I mean, this is quality work going on. Whatever happened, but battling that tomorrow a little bit. So I think we'll be
Noah
all right.
has his locks, by the way.
There we go. See, I was just buying time, man. I was throwing like 40-mile-an-hour fastball at you guys there. Just talking about a random event in North Carolina. Fucking Bob Malak over here. See if anyone catches that reference. Yeah, you said it too. Where Noah, where's your locks, buddy? You said what? Where's your locks?
Oh, he's going against us. He's taking Charleston Southern against Kennesaw. So we have a lock. It's way up there. He snuck it in there.
Yeah, read those off.
He wanted to lock up. Yeah. He's got Charleston Southern and North Dakota State Bison.
Okay. See, yeah. Noah knows his shit too. He's made us look like idiots before. I'm sure he'll do it again at some point, folks. Check out Noah Beanick on Twitter. Let me see if I can remember that. At 77NB. There we go. All right, folks.
Subscribe also, to the Denver Pioneer Insider.
Yes, beat writer for Denver Pioneer basketball. Some say he's just he's still buying into the whole gold rush thing. He's searching those mountains. He's searching them there hills for gold, gold in them there hills. That's what Beanick said to us. I didn't know he was referring to Pioneer basketball. Folks, subscribe to the college basketball experience. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about right now, but let's just have some fun. And we got locks going tomorrow. We got locks. We always got locks. All right. Subscribe to the college football experience. Obviously, great news there. The invitation, the 4-team invitational. And then, obviously, Deion Sanders, Colorado. Let's go, Buff fans. Let's go. Folks, also FCS preview, Army, Navy preview coming up on the college football experience. We got you covered all over there. And check out the college baseball experience, too. Speaking of Noah Beanick, he does great work there for college baseball fans. And check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. Check out all of Ryan's work, NFL Gambling Podcast, The Ryan and Rush Show. All right? That's not Rush Limbaugh, believe it or not, folks. Oh, well, he died. All right. You know what I mean? It's not his son either. It's not Rush Limbaugh Jr. All right. So check out the Ryan and Rush Show. I guarantee you they will be more entertaining than good old Limbaugh. What else do we got? Get the SGPN app. It's free in the App Store and Google Play Store. get access to everything that we have, folks. What are you doing? Go over there. Go to iTunes also. Give us a 5-star review. What do I got to do to get some 5-star reviews? All right. What I got to do? All right. We're giving you winners. All right. Giving you some winners here and there. Maybe the occasional lemon. But who doesn't like a lemon every once in a while? All right.
Humbles you.
Go over there. Yeah. Give us a 5-star review. What are you doing with your lives, people? Also, come talk college hoops with us in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. All right, folks, this is the college basketball experience for Monday, December 5th. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.
Yeah, it's got me thinking about the good shit the minute that I seen you grill again. It made me good trip, good dog the mind back like dog will wind that. Man, I didn't get mad when you near me hit the can back, but the comings on was strong. Now my shit's coming along, you know the song. The truth is I'm pretty much on fire again. It's heating up for real, I'm alive again. And that's the attraction factor. Vancouver, Michigan with my rap disaster. Yeah, you know you want it how you want it. No need to trip cause I got it, doggone it. It's all yours and the extras too. All the super music and the sex for hope. Just get it straight cause he caught me in a good mood. Let me demonstrate what this time of year could do. Sing it.